Humm, baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel, and today we have another Patreon special. Every month I have my patrons and members vote on a topic, and this month it is the top stadiums that I've been to. I'm going to rank all the stadiums that I've been to, Major League Baseball stadiums, in today's video. If you're interested in getting in on this vote, on these polls, go ahead and check out the join button below or the Patreon link in the description to help out the channel. I would really appreciate it if you want to check that out. If not, it's all good, but let's get into this, and I'm going to rank all the stadiums I've been to, give my thoughts. Now, unfortunately, I've only been to 9 stadiums, and 2 of them are no longer being used. So I've only been to 7 active Major League stadiums. Nevertheless, I do have thoughts, and this could always change. Every time I go to a new stadium, I'll put out a new ranking. But anyway, let's get going. Starting at the bottom with number 9, it is going to be the Oakland Coliseum, aka Ring Central, aka Oakland Alameda County Stadium, aka I don't know what else, but it's got several names, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, the stadium for the Oakland A's. Now, you would have thought I've been there a whole bunch, you know, growing up in Northern California, going to Giants games, but fact of the matter is, I almost never went there, because if my family was willing to take me to to all the way to the Bay Area or all the way to San Francisco area, because I grew up in Visalia, quite a ways away, I was going to San Francisco. We were going to a Giants game because I was a huge Giants fan, obviously, and still am. So didn't go to Oakland much. And now we know that this place, that they need a new stadium. The place is falling apart. Now, as for recent experience, there was an NFL game, and that game, the place was, again, yes, it needs help. Obviously, it's been renovated and everything, although you can't really tell. The bathrooms look like they haven't been renovated in decades.
It's perfect for us. A small family place, good food, everyone minds his business. It's perfect. Pete, they got an old-fashioned toilet. You know, the box and the chain thing.
Didn't smell great. And, you know, I'm not an A's fan, so I didn't have either. There's not even like that charm or that love-hate relationship like with Candlestick. Not that I, ever hated Candlestick. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Love Candlestick, of course. But, we know it wasn't the most cozy place in the world. For Oakland Stadium, more like a hate-hate relationship, I guess you would call it. Food qualities, nowhere, not good. Obviously overpriced. Everywhere is going to be pretty much overpriced. But overall, the field itself is beautiful. I can see that on television. Like I said, I haven't been to a baseball game there in forever, so I can't really give a good judgment on it, but it didn't leave a mark with me. I don't have any great memories of this stadium, and I'm gonna hold off judgment until I check it out again. A final judgment, like a full review of this stadium. I'd like to go there this year. I'd love to go there when the Angels come to town. I want to see Trout. I want to see Rendon, but as of now, this stadium for me comes in at number 9. Next up, and this is going to be shocking, it is the new Globe Life Field. Yes, this is shocking. I went there last season during the playoffs, so I haven't had a full look at it and a really great review for you guys. I want to go there again this year to give that really final review and really be honest about it, because I don't feel like I gave it a complete shot. But in that first little experience there, there were problems with this stadium as soon as it was built. People were calling it Home Depot, a giant barbecue grill. It honestly looks and feels like a warehouse from the outside. When you get in, it still feels like a warehouse until you see the actual field. And of course, the field is lovely, it's beautiful, it's baseball. But, the scoreboard is gigantic, it's cool. But overall, I just prefer its predecessor across the street, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Obviously, the weather is a big thing. It's much cooler during the hot summer days when you have a roof and you have climate control, which was a must. I mean, I understand that's mandatory, but I don't think you have to make your park hideous just to have climate control. Okay, you have other parks that have done it. They have a retractable roof and they don't look like an airplane hangar. And when the roof is open, it looks like a tiny little hole. Like what happened there? Something happened up. There's a hole at the top of the building. You never really feel outdoors, even when the roof is open. Unlike places like Houston, I haven't been to Houston, but you can see in the photos that it looks pretty cool. When the building is open, it looks like an outdoor stadium. The team store at Globe Life Field, either I couldn't find it or the one I found was tiny. I tried to find it. I was asking around and they said, no, that is the team store. There's still a tiny little closet. As for the food, overpriced, of course. I bought a cheeseburger like for $12. I don't know, but it was like a little tiny little rabbit food. It was good rabbit food, but it was rabbit food. And you feel pretty far from the field. Obviously, you know, I had my seats and you pretty much were stuck there because it was COVID era. Couldn't really go around too much. I tried to go around as much as I could, you know, and there were some cool baseball displays with some stuff like that, you know, some vintage Ranger stuff, but not a ton, not much. Didn't feel like baseball. I can tell you that. You know, the design might be state of the art, and I shout out for the architecture and everything. It's just a massive, you know, just amazing place, but not an amazing baseball place, you know, and that's all I can really say from my first experience there. I wasn't overly impressed. I would like to go back and give it another shot, but as of now, I got Globe Life Field at number 8. Next up, and this is usually last on every other list, and that is Tropicana Field. Yes, I went there in 2016. The Giants were in Florida. I took the flight all the way to Florida for a few days, and I really enjoyed it there. I can give you a whole review of my experience. I really enjoyed it there. But Tropicana itself, it didn't have any major issues like Oakland. It smelled nice, okay? It was fairly comfortable, and they have this awesome museum called the Ted Williams Museum and Hitters Hall of Fame. What a cool place that is. That just bumped this up a little bit. Obviously, we know the problems with Tropicana, you know, as far as the appearance and the catwalks and things like that, and it's just they need a new stadium. But tickets were cheap. The staff was nice. The food was good, as I recall. Relatively cheap. Didn't send me into bankruptcy. Got to give a shout out there. And obviously, yes, it's indoors. You feel indoors, and it feels kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool because they're playing baseball in a building. And I know that it's the same in Texas and other places, but it feels smaller. It feels like they're actually playing in a building, and I know it doesn't feel as spacious as other parks, which can be good and bad. It can be good because it maybe feel more intimate, closer to the players and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't have this big grand feeling. But it's a cool place to watch a game. I thought not your ideal baseball experience, not probably a stadium I'd want, you know, for my team to go all the time. But just as a trip to go there, I mean, you're not going to have any problems. It's a cool place to watch a game. Tropicana Field, number 7. Coming up next, and I'm sorry that it's so low on the list, but it's got to be honest, and that's Dodger Stadium. Now look, it's obviously a great stadium. It's beautiful. It's held up. And it's got great views of the hills, and you're out there. It's the rivalry, and you can feel that energy. But there are some issues, and some of it's not the ballpark's fault, like getting to the damn park because of the traffic and getting parked once you're there. Some of that is rough, but you know, once you get there, from my experience, you can't even they don't let you walk around the stadium that much. They limit you to your section or your area, like what's going on. Maybe that's changed because I haven't been there for a while. And the staff, some of them were really cool. Some of them were really nice. Some of them were kind of rude, which might have to do with my attire, which was head to toe Giants. But you got to deal with your, you know, typical LA Dodger stuff. The beach balls. The beach balls are coming, okay? You know, it's just not something the Giants fans are into. We're not into the beach balls, but we understand that's your thing. Do your thing, okay? But you got the beach balls, you got the constant waves, you got the constant music blaring from the PA. Usually not my favorite kind of music, all due respect. It can be pretty annoying. It doesn't give you a baseball vibe. There's not a ton of historical stuff going on or displays. I'm sure there are statues and stuff, but I just haven't really seen it. Like I said, I haven't been there a ton, and that's part of the problem. The food is good. Really good, expensive like everywhere, but you know, overall, all due respect, you know, it's a great stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. I mean, I'm not putting it at the bottom, but I just don't love going there. You know, it's one thing, you know, I love the rivalry, but I feel the tension even more in San Francisco. I think I'm a little less distracted there from the concerts, okay, and things like that going on. So don't hate me, Dodgers fans. You got a beautiful stadium. I'm sure, you know, it's held up. It's a great place, but unfortunately, the stadiums above here are just more enjoyable, and I personally like more. So I got the Dodger Stadium at number 6.
This is bullshit.
Next up, we got Globe Life Park, the old Rangers Stadium, and that's the location where the Giants won their first World Series in San Francisco. This place is absolutely amazing. I love Globe Life Park. It's like a giant baseball cathedral. Look at that center field area. So awesome. Great view. And it also has that little retro look that they're going for. Although, yeah, you can kind of tell it's not natural. In other words, like the old parks used to have to change the dimensions and the shape due to the neighborhoods around them, which made it really special. Yeah, this is more of a designed in a room somewhere, in an office somewhere where they just came up with the designs. But it's still pretty cool. I love the center field grass here that slopes up. It's just a great looking stadium. Really beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Great place to watch a game as long as the temperature's not 105 degrees. And that's the issue. Obviously, it gets hot in Arlington. Obviously, they had to have that climate control. But I would much prefer Globe Life Park as long as it's not too hot. If it's over 100, maybe I'd prefer Globe Life Field. Other than that, any temperature that I can stand, I'm going Globe Life Park. It is absolutely beautiful. It looks awesome from the inside and the outside. They got statues and they got little mini museums. It just feels more baseball than the new park, unless they've updated or changed something. But this place is awesome, and just a much better overall baseball experience for me anyway was Globe Life Park. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give Field another shot later this year, but for now, Globe Life Park comes in at number 5. Up next, and admittedly, this is higher than it should be because I'm a Giants fan. This place was my favorite spot in the entire world for a good 20 years, okay? I love Candlestick. I love the look of it. Even though, it's called one of those cookie cutter parks, sometimes articles will refer to it as that, but if you look at it, it's not. It's not really a Three Rivers or a Busch Stadium II, those stadiums that were like perfectly circular. You couldn't tell the difference. The Phillies Veterans Stadium. No. This stadium had a more unique look and a shape, and in fact, it didn't even used to be enclosed when they first built it. But even when they enclosed it, it's got a unique shape. It's not like a perfect circle cookie cutter. Games there were like no other place ever. Not even Oracle can compare. These fans were rowdy, hardcore. We didn't like the wave, like I said. It was not probably the most family-friendly place in the world, but we loved the Giants and baseball. You have to love baseball. It was only for the hardcore fans most nights because it got cold and it got windy and you had to put up with it. And no matter how many blankets or sweaters or coats or jackets you put on, that shit cut right through. But if you survive the night game and the extra inning game, you get one of these buttons. Vini, Vidi, Vixi. I came, I saw, I survived. You had to love baseball. The normies were not showing up here just to chill and get a beer. No, this was for the hardcores, okay? And we used to say this is a dump, but it's our dump. I loved Candlestick Park, and even for a while they had a Carl's Jr. up in there, and that's my favorite restaurant. So, I mean, it was just a perfect storm for a while there. But no, honestly, Candlestick Park, in my heart, it's even higher on this list. But I admit, if I wasn't a Giants fan, it'd be damn near the bottom because it got cold. The wind and the cold was very uncomfortable, and it had to be Major League Baseball, Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, Barry Bonds later, all these guys, they had to be there to make it worth, sitting in that weather sometimes. But still, just a great place, a great experience. Will treasure my time at Candlestick Park, coming in at number 4. Next up at number 3, we're going with Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. I made the trip twice, actually, in 2014. Went there once to check out the stadium, because the Giants were there playing a regular series and I wanted to go check the stadium out. I had no idea that those teams would be in the World Series. I mean, even though actually while we were there, me and my friend were like, damn, these two teams are awesome. Maybe they'll end up in the World Series. Boom! So I went back for the World Series, and the park is fantastic. What's most impressive is that it's old. I mean, it was way before its time. They built this, close to the cookie cutter era, but they said, we're not going to build no cookie cutter. We're going to make a beautiful park that can stand the test of time, and they did it. And you got the iconic classic fountains out in the outfield, a beautiful field, easy access, very easy to get to, parking, hassle-free. You get in there, you feel like close to the field. They're really cool. The staff is polite. You go everywhere, go anywhere. Lots of cool baseball stuff, and just awesome. They do a similar chant as Giants fans, so used to it, but let's go Royals. I know we do the same chant, but they do it like all game long. And it was hilarious because after the Giants lost a particular regular season game in 2014, leaving the ballpark, they were still doing it. Royals fans all over the place. Let's go Royals. And then a Giants fan was like, 2 World Series. That was absolutely hilarious. At the time, remember, we'd only won 2. We were about to win a 3rd against them, which is insane. But yeah, the overall, the ambience, the iconic look of this stadium, awesome, super friendly people, easy access, great city as well. The K comes in at number 3. But coming in at number 2 is going to be Busch Stadium, the new Busch Stadium. That is a thing of beauty. I love the new Busch Stadium. The fans are intense, passionate, knowledgeable, polite. You know, sometimes they'll kid around, but they're great spirited, and it's easy to get around. Just great displays everywhere. The view of St. Louis, you know, the gateway, absolutely amazing, as is the view of the field. You get a super close look at it. You get a close look at the players. Staff, very friendly. Great place to watch a game, and they also do a great job of bringing the historical element into the experience. You know, with the video board, they help you to remember all the greats: Ozzie Smith, Lou Brock, Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, so on and so on and so on. Too many to name. And there was also cool auctions going on throughout the stadium. You get a close look at some used gear. It's pretty cool. I couldn't afford anything, but you get a close-up look at like Yadier Molina's mask, or, you know, game-used bats, jerseys, all that. But once the game starts, comfortable, feels like baseball. That's the key. And even the surrounding areas, like, dude, this is a hardcore baseball area. The hype is insane. I'm talking regular season. I haven't been to any playoff games there. So there's a place called Ballpark Village, and really awesome area. You can eat, you can watch baseball on a giant big screen and lots of other screens, and just baseball displays, memorabilia. Awesome experience. I mean, I really enjoyed it there. The food was probably the most expensive I've ever seen in any stadium. At least it seemed like that. I mean, it was really pricey. I got a Philly cheesesteak, and there was like just a few little specks of meat, like total ripoff. But that's the only complaint. Other than that, Busch Stadium was a great experience, and I hope to go back ASAP, maybe this year. So Busch Stadium, the newest Busch Stadium, the current Busch Stadium, comes in at number 2. Which leads me to my number 1, Oracle Park. Obviously, you already know. Yes, this is biased, but also Oracle Park is number 1 on a lot of lists from non-Giants fans. And when they built this park, I was actually concerned, like it was going to be cold and windy. Like, what I mean, I'm sure it's going to be better. But I thought, why not build a dome? There was a lot of talk of a dome. I wanted a dome because I didn't want them to move out. I wanted a place that I knew would be, you know, good weather. But guess what? I was completely wrong. This location was brilliant. The view is amazing. The weather is fine. It's usually beautiful. Cold and windy days are now rare instead of the norm. And the fact that home runs go straight into the bay, you know, on occasion is a thing of beauty. And this park, you know, it's got those retro elements, but a lot of them are natural. They had to build it that way because there's a bay there. So they couldn't have, you know, built it different, you know, if they wanted to. It just kind of fit right into that location. Yes, it brings out more people, but you need people. You need people to sell tickets so the team doesn't move. So yes, you're going to get some normies, so to speak, there. You know, they're going to be on their phone and they don't really care about baseball. Oh, well, you know, let's pack this place. And actually, there's not that many of them. Most people are knowledgeable. Most people love the game. It goes to show there's a lot of Giants fans who loved the game back in the day. They just didn't love it enough to go, you know, freeze to death. But the weather, night and day, and the food is bomb, and there's so many options. Yes, the garlic fries are iconic, but there's Chinese food, there's barbecue, there's Mexican, any kind of food you want, it's there. Yes, it's going to be expensive. You got to, you know, give up your life savings and your firstborn son, but you will get some bomb food. You got the Wall of Fame, great displays all over. You got the 3 trophies there you can take a picture in front of. You got team shops all over, you know, big ones, not like in Texas where there's little tiny closet. No, you get lots of, yes, they're making money, but, you know, we want to give you our money. You know, give us options, give us stuff to buy. They even sell like game used stuff, bats and things like that. I mean, how cool is that? There's a little mini baseball field out there for kids. Now, granted, I know more about this park than other places, so maybe other places have these things as well. But, I mean, I just can't imagine a better place to watch a game. The view, the environment, everything is off the charts. At at&T or Oracle or Pac Bell or whatever you want to call it, this is the place to be. What a stadium. Totally biased, but I got Oracle Park at number 1. So there you have it. That is my top stadiums that I've actually been to and have a little experience, and I need to go to more. I plan to go to more. I'd love to go to Petco. I'd love to go to some other stadiums around the country, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So as of now, that's all I've been to. So I can't, I have to be honest with you guys and only rank the ones I've been to, because I don't feel it's fair to rank them if I haven't even been there. But let me know what you guys think, and let me know some stadiums I should go to. What do you think? Let me know down below. Should I hit up Angel Stadium? Should I hit up some other places? Should I go to Chase Field? I've actually been to Chase Field outside. I haven't been into a game, but I've been to Phoenix, and I've been right there at Chase Field and checked it out from the outside, but didn't get to go to a game because it wasn't baseball season at that time. But anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button for more videos and content. Really do appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your ranking down below. Have a great day. We're going to talk to you next time.
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips